And then, a light bulb switched in my head and I was like, yes, that's exactly it. Hello, Eisters.
And welcome to the Payday 3 Developer Diaries.
We're very excited to finally be able to share some details around Payday 3 and to give you a peek behind our curtains as we talk about some of the highlights and challenges we've faced during the making of Payday 3.
We've put together multiple episodes with the help of several members of the Payday development team, and in these episodes we'll give everyone a chance to say more on their individual responsibility and passion to see how it has been applied in the making of Payday 3. We hope you'll find these developer diaries both interesting and enlightening, and that we'll manage to quench some of your curiosity and desire for more information.
Today's video is the first in the series, and it's set to serve as an introduction to Payday 3, where we discuss some key topics around what players will recognize from the Payday you already know, as well as what will set it apart as a separate and unique experience. Without further ado, let's go. I think a lot of Payday 2 players are gonna go like, oh, so this is exactly how I do it. But you will also notice that there are a lot of small features that somehow affect the game and makes it into a completely different thing than Payday 2 ever was.
I think the biggest change from Payday 2 to Payday 3 is just generally how the heist experience has evolved. My name is Andreas and I work as a producer on Payday 3. In Payday 2 you have stealth and then you have loud, which is pretty binary, and that's something that we really wanted to flesh out and evolve. So in Payday 3 you have stealth and then you have something that we call search, which essentially is guards are looking for you and they're suspicious. And then you have something really interesting which is called negotiation. So first responders arrive to the scene, and if you have hostages, you can start trading them to buy time before the cops get in. Or you can save the hostages for later because you can trade them for resources. So the Payday Gang has moved from Washington, D.C. to New York City. And a big reason for that is because New York is just the capital of capitalism. Heisting with your friends and having all those skyscrapers around you, the yellow cabs, more pedestrians and traffic, that's just a very important piece in elevating the experience in general.
There is a ton of stuff, right, that makes New York the place to be. But more so, it's tied to the story and the narrative of Payday. Something that has grown more and more interesting over the years, especially so for the players, who have really come to like the story and are wondering what's going to happen next for the Payday Gang.
So Payday 3 will take place in New York City at launch, and we're definitely going to see the gang move to different locations as the game grows and scales over time.
For Payday 3, there will be the original gang and 2 more heisters that will join them.
So I think we're definitely going to see collaborations for Payday 3 as well. What's important for us, and that's something that we've taken like as a general consensus from the community as well, it has to fit the universe, and we don't want to do stuff that really breaks immersion. So as long as it's a natural fit and it elevates what the game is about, absolutely.
Over the past decade, we've done more than 30 different collaborations for Payday, introducing new characters, new heists, and I think the message I want to make really clear to the Payday fans out there is that for launch, we want to focus on the core gang and the core original story of Payday and Payday 3. As we go into the post-launch of Payday 3, anything can happen. You are right that the gang has definitely grown older, and I think that's one of the cool things with Payday as a trilogy now, is that the story and the characters share a red thread through the games. So whatever happened to one of the characters in Payday 2 over its lifespan, that it will somehow be reflected in Payday 3. The coolest feature in Payday 3, one of the first one that comes to my mind, is when you're in the bank, the civilians are everywhere, the cops start rushing in. What you can do in Payday 3 that you've never been able to do before in the Payday franchise is that you can take civilians as hostages and use them as a shield towards the law enforcement. There has been a lot of comments on stream, because we stream several times a week now, and every time we do, there are always Payday 3 questions. Definitely there's been some heavy hitters that have suggested things or asked things where I've gone like, that's actually a fact, you know? So if you asked that question, you were right. Arrived in Washington. Why is it so hard to... They haven't been sleeping around. They've been sleeping around.
Mackan! Mackan! Chains, Wolf, Hoxton, Houston? I don't know where Houston is.